And Norfolk police brought in a famous mixed martial arts expert to help their officers and local law enforcement train to fight criminals. Gracie was in town training officers how to overcome a suspect using hand-to-hand combat moves. The department says the training is invaluable despite the death of Cadet John Kahn in December 2010. He died during training after taking several violent blows to the head.
Well, they have moved on since then. They say that teaching hand-to-hand combat that minimizes injury to officers from the best of the best is just another show of the change in their training culture. You know the moves mainly from UFC fights on television. It is as showy as it is useful, as demonstrated by Norfolk police officers.
Problem solved.
The man in charge of the training, Gracie, says don't be confused by the pace of it. It is focused on the mind.
It's such a mellow way of training and that's created so the officer doesn't get beat up. Because we don't want you to get beat up when you're training, learning to defend yourself for real life. We want you to train in a very mellow way.
It is a major change of pace for the Norfolk Police Department.
It's a lot different than the basic training I got when I went through. This is more about controlling distance.
It's a new day for them compared to when they lost Cadet John Kahn. He took a fatal blow to the head while in training.
We don't train the way we did during that incident.
Officer Chris Amos says while this training doesn't directly replace what happens at the police academy, it is still necessary for an officer to learn how to handle being threatened by a blow to the head.
Now we use almost like those pool floats, styrofoam, to do that, to simulate that motion versus, you know, a blow to the head.
But it does represent a police department that's paying for their instructors to broaden their skills.
One of the things that are mandated for us to cover are things like ground escapes. This course is tailor-made to meet that objectives.
And it's a tactic that has already saved the life of Officer Chris Sprague nearly 7 times in 5 years.
I was not injured in any of the altercations I've been in, which is nice because that's not always the case, so I wouldn't change anything.
Now, we covered when the department made major changes to the training of their recruits by having doctors sign off on their new protocol and spreading out training over a 6-month period versus just a 2-week period of intensity.
Okay, and they plan on bringing Gracie back next year.
Very popular guy.